This is Reginald Perryman, Associate Brokers with Keller Williams Metro. Today I'm going to show you how to search foreclosure properties on Zillow. So oftentimes there's some confusion with the properties that are available versus the properties that are just pre-foreclosed properties. So just stay tuned and I'll walk you through the process. So basically what we're doing here is I've already selected the city that I'm looking for. So there's right now there's currently 196 homes for sale. So what a lot of people don't do is you don't pretty much check any of the filters, and most people, to be honest, don't know that these filters are here. So we're going to focus today just on the foreclosed properties, and there's two sections. There's one, properties that are for sale, and potential listings. So basically what potential listings mean that these properties are make me moves, people that are considering selling, pre-foreclosures, and foreclosed properties. So let's start with pre-foreclosures here. And if you notice, that list of properties went down to just 54 properties. So if I scroll down and let's just say I pick on any property. So if I scroll here on this particular property, you'll notice that this property says pre-foreclosure auction. And this is just the estimate. This is not the listing price or the asking price. This is simply Zillow's estimate of value. But the key word here is pre-foreclosure and auction. And simply what that means is, and most people do not go further down in the comments. Now I believe Zillow, you have to actually register for your free account to get additional foreclosure information. This is very important. So it just says when the loan was issued, that the property went to foreclosure. Here's the foreclosure attorney information, and that the property was scheduled for a foreclosure auction basically in the state of Michigan. This means the sheriff's sale. And the homeowner has 6 months to redeem the property from this date. Now, two things to keep in mind. This particular sheriff's sale or auction can be canceled, or the bank can choose not to go through with the foreclosure. The owner can work out some type of loan modification or complete a short sale during this time. But as the buyer, you can actually go to the sheriff's sale and bid on this property if the sheriff's sale is still held. So that's why you see a lot of properties just sitting vacant, or the property is in foreclosure status, which seems like forever, because there are several factors that happens here. So for example, this sale can be canceled or the property may be redeemed. But keep in mind, even after the sheriff's sale, whether you're the buyer or you're just keeping an eye on the property, the owner still has 6 months to redeem this particular property. And after the 6-month redemption period, the occupant will either have to vacate or you have to complete an eviction. So that explains the pre-foreclosure auction. This doesn't mean that the property is up for auction for sale under normal circumstances, unless you go to the actual sheriff's sale and bid on the property. And typically you're paying all cash. You're bidding with cash. There's no financing involved because your money is basically sitting there during that 6-month redemption period. So let's check the other option under potential listings. Let's check on actual. So what I did here was check foreclosed properties. So with foreclosed properties, these are properties that have actually been foreclosed on. So if you notice, the wording is different here. It says foreclosure estimate. That's just basically what Zillow is estimating the value is worth. In this particular case, this particular property is actually for sale. And the bank is only given a quitclaim deed. And the reason being for this particular property is because it's still within the 6-month redemption period. The bank is simply assigning you their interest in the property. Seller will pay delinquent taxes. But if you notice, there are some additional comments here. It shows when it was foreclosed. Remember, I mentioned the 6-month redemption period. And in this case, the 6-month redemption period has just ended. So whoever buys this property is assuming an occupant, and you basically have to evict the occupant unless they move voluntarily. So let's go here, and you will find those properties as well. In this particular property here, you'll notice that it's foreclosed. Again, estimate. There's no information regarding if it's for sale or the type of sale. So this simply means that the property was foreclosed and the lender has taken ownership of this property through a foreclosure auction, and this is the amount that it was foreclosed. That does not mean that that's going to be the list price. That just simply means that during the bidding process, no one bidded on the property, and the lender probably just bidded the amount that was owed on the property at the time. They're going to list the property based on the current condition of the property. So there are several factors. So this list price may be higher or lower than this amount here that's listed. This just gives you an idea. So keep in mind, this property is not active, not on the market. It's simply just foreclosed. It's something you would keep an eye on if you're interested in that particular property. So let's go here. If you are actually looking to buy a home that's active and on the market, you would simply go here to properties for sale and check foreclosures. And if you notice that there's only 6 foreclosures on the market. So when we first started, there was over 190 homes that were showing for sale. And here you can see that there's only 6 that are actual foreclosures. So let's just look at, for example, let's pick a property here. This particular property, if you notice, is different. It doesn't say foreclosed or pre-foreclosure. It actually says foreclosure. And they have some details on the property, marketing description, has a list price, not the foreclosure estimate, has an actual list price, and it has information about the property, whether it's been sold as is. And if you look down in the remarks, here's the biggest difference. It says listed by bank. So the property is foreclosed and now the lender is selling it for, and they actually have the price listed. So, and that's the biggest difference between foreclosure properties, foreclosed properties, and pre-foreclosures when you're searching Zillow. Now, if you notice, there's one property here that says auction and is listed under foreclosure properties. That just simply means that it's auction and the bank is selling the property via auction. So if you see here, they listed the auction site and when the deadline is for bidding, and basically the property was foreclosed and is now available to purchase online at auction.com. And if you visit auction.com, they'll have the details as to when the actual bid deadline is for that property. So this property is actually listed for sale via auction.com, and they'll give you some instructions as to when the bid dates will start for this particular property. And you'll see foreclosure information. Again, it has to say listed by bank. That means this property is going to be active and ready to sell. It even gives a list date when the property was listed. So for more information, if you just want to want more help with searching homes, or if you're looking or you're interested in buying a home anytime now or in the near future, please feel free to visit regiusrealestate.com.